Well, good day, YouTube. I wasn't going to do a video today, but went ahead and decided to. Had my appointment yesterday and had the surgeon do the peritonesis. That went just great. The nurses guided him through it, and I was waiting. The sonogram technician there, she must have picked up, I just wasn't doing too good. She asked me, what was wrong today. And I told her, basically, I'm just depressed, and I thought she'd just leave it at that. But so she asked me, well, what are you depressed about today? So we talked, and talked about medical care, lack of, my expectations, and what's actually happening, and me and the wife have been talking about it for about a week now too, and it's been eating at her as well. So we talked, and it went all right. Talked about another option from the peritonesis, which is to put the stent in. My gastrologist, she's just against it. I really don't know why. It'll bypass the liver, and the ascites will go where it's supposed to go, outside, out my body, and go through the blood system normal like it's supposed to. And but I don't know. Some reason she doesn't want to do it. And we talked about that. And this sonogram technician, I think I mentioned it before, she teaches all the doctors in the state of Oregon on this procedure. It's all she does. So she's not a doctor. She can't really give me medical advice per se, but she can talk to me. And she has to be careful what she says, which is understandable. She doesn't want to lose her license. And but it was a good chat, and procedure went well. The surgeon, he used the larger catheter, which I like. Just really sucks the juice right out of me real fast. It's called a French catheter, or a pigtail catheter. And basically the way it's made is it's curled on the end. And it has a string, and when they insert it, they pull the string, and it straightens the catheter out. And they could kind of like hook it around a bow, and then they let go of the string, and it does a pigtail thingy. It holds it in place. Works good. Larger bore. I think it has more holes in it or something. Anyways, it sucks you dry real fast. And so went great. They got every itty bitty amount out, and in no time at all. And during that time, my main RN nurse that takes care of me in there, she talked to me about everything too, and she's been most helpful gal. And I think she should be a doctor, to tell you the truth, but she definitely knows more than the doctors, and it is what it is. But she's so concerned and looking out, for her patients. I think I said something about having problems with my my Rona test this time, and yada yada. So she called on Monday morning, and it's like, what's going on? Where's your Rona test? Because we're like clockwork, and we're like, well, we did it, and here's the holdup, and they said the order expired. She's dumbfounded. She's like, Rona tests don't expire, and so she's like, well, call call your your PCP, yada yada. So we did. As soon as they opened up Monday, and they were holding my Rona test in the fridge. They done took it, but everybody was too scared to run it because the order expired. And so, and in the meantime, Hannah called, my main RN, and she was wanting to know. Yeah, so we explained it to her, and she's like, "Well, I'll take care of this," But we'd already called the PCP, But hour later, I got my test results back. So, all's good. And we talked about my depression too, it's been creeping. And so go over to the infusion center and hoping for the best. And so go in there. Lo and behold, they know I don't get the phlebotomy. It's like, all right, well, at least you looked at my lab results, and I guess you read the order as well for over there. And so that's all good. It's like, yeah, no problem. We'll just do the albumin. And so she gets to digging around. She's like, well, you don't get no albumin today either. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, it says that you have to have at least 6 liters pulled out of you before we give you infusion. And I said, no, you're not reading the order right. And, it's the same one that's been in effect now for 2 months, this one. I was like, I got a copy of it if you want to read it. And she's like, well, I'm printing a copy right now. It's like, well, I'll just tell you what it says verbatim. I don't even have to look at it. I've read it so many times. It's like the first 6 liters, I get 36 grams of albumin. It's like if it's 6.1 liters they pull out, I get 72 grams. And she just like, oh, whoa, no, that's not what it is at all, man. That's exactly what it is. It's like I come here week in and week out. And so she's like, yada, yada. She's like, well, I'm going to have to call, your PCP. I'm like, well, good luck on that. I'm still waiting for a call back for the Rona order that she never, I'm still waiting today. It's Wednesday. Still ain't got the call back from her. If it wasn't for my main RN over there, I wouldn't have got anything done. And so I explained it to her. She's like, well, that's just not the way I read it. It's like, well, I don't know, it's only two sentences long, and I don't know what you don't understand. Let's go through it word per word. I had to treat them like they're 6. Seriously. This is what it says, And so we would always, she wasn't sure. So one of the other nurses walked by. I was like, well, just ask her. She usually does this every week for me. And so she comes over there. She's like, yeah, he needs his 36 grams. And this is the way the order's written. And she's like, oh, I don't think that's I don't think that's right. He shouldn't get any. I was like, well, I can't get a peritonitis without being followed up with the infusion. It's like if I don't get the infusion, they refuse to do the peritonitis. And yada yada. So she walked off, I guess to go call. And the other nurse like, we're just going to do normal and give you 36. And it's like, I have to, get school in session every week over there. I don't know if I think I probably told you about, the phlebotomy. I had to tell them what tubing and the non-regurgitating Y to get, so they can go from the phlebotomy straight to the infusion without blood squirting all over the room. I had to tell her and show her how to hook that stuff up and explain it to her. It's like, I don't know what they pay them for, really, to tell you the truth. So I got it and got out of there and came home. I'm usually hungry and thirsty afterwards, and I ate more than normal and got pretty full. And anyways, by about 8 o'clock, I started getting all bloaty and hurting, and so I went off to bed and took some pain meds, and man, I tell you, it just got to hurting really bad. So 3 o'clock, I had to finally get up and take more pain meds. It was bad. So today I just feel like crap, and my stomach's not as hard, but just laying around doing nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. And so that was yesterday. I really don't know what else to do. We're working on some other stuff. Hopefully soon this week, make some phone calls, and that'll be for another video. And just not happy. Definitely not happy with my primary care physician. And this is kind of why, I've got this second one lined up that I'm going to see in July. And it's just, she can't even call back on this simple Rona test. Get this, the wife goes in. I told you guys she was sick here a while back, and she took 3 Rona tests, and she didn't want to go to the hospital, obviously, if she had the Rona. She didn't want to go to work, yada, yada. But she tested negative all 3 times. We did the home test. And the last one I had her save. It's like, just save that. I want to see how long it lasts. And so it's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks we saved it. So, but we did find out at the hospital that she could use a home test to get in, and but I can't. I have to use this other serum one, yada yada, and so that's what she used to get in. So she takes it down to the hospital yesterday, and shows it to them. They're like, all right, no problem. Slap a visitor pass on her, and and sends her on down the road. No, not a problem. So we just bring it home. I guess we'll take it down there next week, scheduled for Wednesday next week. I'll see if I can make it 8 days. Wednesday is actually a better day for the wife and her work, and we've done 2 Tuesdays in a row because that's just all it's all they could do with the lack of doctors and scheduling. But I don't know, we'll just take the same one. Use it again. I mean, it looks like she just took it, The line doesn't fade, or hasn't yet anyways. It just sits on the countertop, and we'll see if it makes it 4 weeks. I don't know. But supposedly my main registered nurse, she's got the Rona test straightened out, I guess. She's dumbfounded about it all as well. Never heard of any of their stuff expiring like that for the Rona test, and I have to have a doctor's order for that serum one to have a procedure done, But yet the home test is fine for my wife to go. She only sat 10 feet away from me while I was in there getting drained. They just won't let her into the little surgical room, but the doors are wide open. She's right there, just sitting in a chair. Might as well be in the same room, except for they're too small, for more than 2 or 3 people. 3 people's crowded, Usually once they get me going, it's just me and the nurse that watches me until it's done. But so that's my experience. The pain was excruciating last night. Wife reminded me last week, I hurt for about a day and a half too afterwards. I'm not sure why. And I do remember getting all bloaty and hard again in the evening. But right now it's, I'm kind of squishy like a bowl of Jello and jiggly, and so that's good. the pain's not as bad. I haven't had to take any more pain meds since 3 o'clock this morning, thank God. You know, that's the first time I've actually gotten up in the middle of the night, I think, to have some. But I had to get some sleep, you know. If I'm just miserable and tossing and turning, that means, you know, the wife's not sleeping and she ain't getting the sleep she needs to get up to go to work in the morning. And she's a trooper, though. She's hanging in there, and she has to take off, go to Reading again this weekend. Had a death in her family. So she'll be gone, basically when she gets off work Friday night, she'll be gone until Sunday night. And so it's not even a vacation for her, you know, going down there for a funeral. And her and her sister are going together, but it'll give her some time away from me anyways. But and maybe, you know, get her mind off of everything up here. And not a very good way, you know, to do it, but it's all, you know, it's all she can do, really. Probably cut this one here pretty short. We don't know. I'm already 16 minutes, and I always say that and I always run a half an hour, but nothing else to say, really. Scheduled out next week. They did pull 5.8 liters off yesterday, which is a little over 1.5 gallons. And I did some numbers. This was my 19th peritonisis I've had, and it comes up to almost 29 gallons they've pulled off of me since they started. And that's quite a bit of fluid, you know. I think the most they pulled at one time was 9.8. Almost hit the 10 liter mark one day. And that wasn't fun times. And that was fighting the doctors. It seems like, you know, it's fighting the doctors more than anything. Us figuring out, you know, what has to be done and telling them, you know, what we need. And that's what we have been doing, you know. It was just like my infusion amount, you know, that took a long time, and I just kept telling them, you know, you're not giving me the right amount, you know. The chart's right here, you know. Do you want to see it, you know? And you know, it shouldn't take that. That's what gets depressing, you know. You just want to give up, but you know, you need the right medicine and whatnot. You know, give it to me, you know. Flush the line when you're done, like it, you know. I had to teach that one nurse, you got to flush that out of there, you know. You're leaving part of my infusion behind, you know. I need it all, especially after you shortchanged me for 2 months. I'm not sure that's really working. They say it can take some time, you know, but how much time does it take to make it work? You know, it's been over 3 months on it, you know, every week. So I've been to an infusion center 19 times as well. And I don't know. Nothing's really changed, you know. If you throw it up in a bar graph up there, you know, there's no big drastic change in my numbers up or down, really. As long as I keep on the schedule every 7 days, a couple times 8 days. I think once I went in 6 days, but you know, it wasn't that big of a change. Last week was just a hard time with my bowels and everything, and they just couldn't get it all out. But I don't know. Maybe it'll kick in. Maybe it won't. One thing about it I learned yesterday from the sonogram technician when we were talking about it. She's like, if it just stops and they haven't done anything like a transplant yet, she's like, you better start counting your days, because that's all you got left. And so it's a good thing to have it, because if it just stops coming out for no apparent reason, that's just total failure, liver failure, and it's done. So, that gave me something to think about, more stress, So it's like, well, at least something's coming out. But wish it didn't hurt so much, but it is what it is, I could go for less, 2 or 3 liters, but the stent, they can put that in, and I've known about that. We've known for a while. It's not that big of a procedure. They just go down your jugular vein and yada yada, and they put the stent in and bypasses the high pressure, yada yada, and the fluid, like I said, the fluid stays in the blood system where it's supposed to be. And that's what the albumin's supposed to be doing, is sucking this back into my blood system. How, I really don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, and it hasn't been explained to me, but that's the theory behind it. It's supposed to be sucking the ascites back in, and to control the ascites, but to a point, not to dry you up all the way. But the stent would stop it and keep it where it's supposed to be. But if it just stops without any reason at all, is when you're done. But hopefully I won't hit that mark there for sure. And I don't know. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. Day's already half over pretty much, and hopefully the pain level stays down where it has been since I got up. Matt did sleep in, if you can call it sleeping in, but since I was up most of the night, and I didn't get out of bed till 7:30. But I've been tired since I got up, and didn't take any naps though, just hanging in there. And other than that, probably pop in, maybe over the weekend, yabber about something. I'm all set for next week. Like I said, next Wednesday, we're going 8 days this time. Hopefully I can make it. And I think I could have made it this time, to tell you the truth, without being in too much excruciating pain. But there's been other times when I've been only 7 days apart, and on day 6, I'm just laying here in a lot of pain, Just all I could think about is, well, gonna get drained tomorrow at such and such time, and I'll feel better. But anyways, that's it. It's Wednesday. Probably check in on Saturday. Yabber. Maybe I'll go outside and do one. I'm not sure what the weather's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be nice. I don't know. We've had some nice days, but seems like all the nice days we have to go to either a doctor or to the hospital. And even my wife's been bitching about it, because it only takes part of the day, to get these things done, and she takes the whole day off work. But pissing down rain, what do you do when you get back home? Nothing. We binge watch Shameless still. We haven't got all the way through that yet, and I think we're getting close. Have to pick out something else to watch. I don't know. Anyways, I am short a half an hour. Proud of myself here on this one. Let's cut it off here at 25 minutes. So we'll shoot for Saturday, and I'll yab about something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And till then, peace out.